What's going on, guys? Welcome back. So last year, 2024, I had a blast shooting USPSA with RJ, competing, traveling, going to different states and shooting matches. I went from unclassified straight to B class, ended up taking home some really nice wins in level 2 matches. That was a blast. This year I decided I wanted to shoot in PRS. So the Precision Rifle series is definitely a ton of fun. It is challenging, and my first match went terrible for a lot of reasons. The biggest reason, I did not actually go out and collect data for my dope. So I just assumed and used what my ballistics calculator said it should be, and that's not the best way to show up to a match. It's actually a terrible idea. Anyways, I've got a Bagara crest right here, and it is the barreled action that is dropped inside of this MDT ACC Premier chassis. It is weighted down on the exterior as well as the interior of this beautiful setup, so it is very balanced. I threw an MDT brake on the front of it, and for the first optic, I went into some of my spare optics and grabbed a 4.5 to 27 Razor from Vortex, and it worked really well. Now, the one-piece mount that I used because it was already on this Razor, and I was kind of lazy and I didn't want to change it. It seemed to position the optic nicely, and that worked. This is probably more than enough magnification to get the job done, and it is no fault of the equipment that my first match totally sucked. It is 100% my fault because I did not do the work to go out and figure out where this thing impacts at different distances. So that brings us to the next thing that we're going to do. We've got some really beefy Vortex precision rings. We're going to get these things mounted up onto this setup. Got a diving board. The reason I've got a diving board is because I'm going to take this Impact 4000. This thing needs me to do a video all on its own just about the setup of this device, because this thing is freaking amazing. So next thing is the optic. I have a lot of optics laying around just that I've accumulated over the years. I've got this Mark IV. Now this is an 8-32 by 56 from Loophole. I also have a lot of Mark V's laying around. I have a couple other Razors laying around. I have some really nice Night Force, some Schmidt and Bender. I have some Swarovski. I have a ton of glass that is just accumulated because I'll get something, put it on a rifle, and then if I upgrade or I change that, sometimes I decide that maybe that was way overkill for the AR-10 that it was on, and I replaced it with something else, so that ended up on the shelf. Well, this is a Vortex Razor 6-36, and I think this is going to be perfect for this setup. So this is a new Gen 3, and it is absolutely beautiful. I really love the bronze color of these optics. I think it's really nice, and it stands out. I remember when they first started doing the bronze, it was very exciting to me. I would see it and I'd be like, oh dude, that's a Razor if I ran into somebody at the range. So anyways, this thing's going to be a ton of fun to play with. I am going to get all the data for this rifle. Now, gathering data for the rifle, what I want to do is get a really good 0 at 100 yards, and then at any distance away from the target, I expect half MOA accuracy from this because I know this rifle's capable of it. So if I'm shooting at a target, what I'll do is I'll draw a center line. That'll be my point of aim, right? Now the goal is half MOA impacts. So if I'm shooting at 500 yards, I expect 2.5 inches above or below that center line. Utilizing this, I'm going to be able to gather some data really quickly by just throwing the target out, get in the back of my truck, shoot at the target, drive further away, shoot at the target, and I should be able to collect a lot of data about this setup really, really fast. So it's going to be exciting. Hopefully I'll have time and I'll bring you guys along. You'll get to see me shoot a match, or at least some of the highlights from a match. Maybe we'll do a video of this, setting it up, but who knows? Let me know down in the comments below if you want to see any of that stuff. If not, regardless, I'm going to post it anyways. So I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next video.